Hi everyone, welcome back and thanks for joining me today. This is Jonna with Purple Girl Crafts. This is the card we're going to make today. I'm calling this a window trifold card. I did add a wobbler to the cow so that he has a little bit of movement to him. When you open it up, it's got a place for a message and then some additional embellishments. This card will lay flat for shipping and it measures about 4.5 inches by 7 inches, so it'll fit in a standard envelope. So the first thing we're going to need is our scoreboard. And we're going to start by cutting the base card. And this is going to be 8.5 by 7 inches. And then you're going to turn this back to the 8.5 inch side. And we're going to score this at 4.25 inches. That's just half it. So that is the piece that we should have. That's for the base of the card. So we'll set that aside. Next, we need one piece that is cut at 8 inches by 7 inches. We're going to turn that back on the 8-inch side, and we are going to score this at 2, 4, and 6. So this is the piece that you will have now. So we're going to set that aside. We also need one piece. It's cut at 3.5 by 5. And then a layer that will go on top of that is 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. Next, we will need one piece that is cut at 4 by 6 3/4, and one piece that is cut at 6 3/4 by 2 2.5. This is going to be just on one edge, so it doesn't have to be that big. Then we need 3 pieces that are cut at 1 3/4 by 6.5, and we'll need 3 of those. So those are all the pieces that we need to make this card, and we don't need our scoreboard, so let's go ahead and move that. We're going to start with the base of the card. So we're going to start with the base of the card, and we're just going to fold that score line and then crease it down the center. So this will be for the base of the card. Then we are going to take our top sheet, and this is our pattern paper, and we are going to glue this down because we're going to make some cuts, so we want to make sure we glue this down first. So I'm just going to apply glue to this piece. And then we're just going to glue this down and then make sure it's lined up. And then use our bone folder once again just to make sure that glue is pressed out. So we add this top later because it will make it so much easier when we do the cut for the window that we're going to create. So you could do your markings on here, but we're just going to use our trimmer because it's easier to do. So we're going to line it up with that 1-inch line. And then we're going to go 1 inch in. So we're going to put this at the 6-inch mark. And we're going to score, or we're going to cut down to the 1-inch mark. We're going to turn this, and we are going to again line it up on the 1-inch line. And we're going to cut from 2 1/4 down to that first mark that we made. That will leave your 2 inches from the center of the card. We're going to turn it again. We're going to line this up so it's at the 2 1/4 inch mark. And then we're going to start at the 6-inch mark and then cut down to the 1-inch mark. Turn it one last time. And this time I'm just going to cut between those 2 cut lines. You want to make sure you're on the 1-inch line, and then you're just going to cut between those 2 cut marks that you can see. And just line your trimmer up with those. And your piece should fall out freely from your card now. So that is our little window so that our piece will slide through there. So we're done with the trimmer, so let's go ahead and move that. Next, we're going to work on the center piece of the card. And we're just going to fold this, and you just want to fold and crease out all these score lines. Doesn't matter what direction you go, as long as you have 2 mountains and 1 valley, and the valley has to be at the end of either side. So on this, I have 2 mountains and 1 valley. So the shape should be like that. And you can go ahead and just make sure all these are creased out. So we're going to glue this to the card. So this first piece is going to get glued to the inside front. So I'm just going to put this down and glue it. And then once that is glued, we are going to glue the second side down. So we're going to take it, lay it flat so it's flat on the front of the card, and then fold that flat forward and then glue that piece. So we're just going to put glue on this one flap only, and then just go ahead and close the card on itself. Some of the other pieces that we have left are, we have these 3 pieces. These are going to get glued to the inside of the card on those 3 panels. Just like that. But before we do that, we're going to work on this inside piece. So we're going to take that piece of paper that we had cut, and this one is just one that's a little bit more than 2 inches. I'm going to line it up so it's even with the polka dotted paper on the front. And then I'm going to turn the card over, and I'm going to use my pencil, and I'm just going to draw where I want to cut a square out of here, or the C shape, because we're only going to cut 3 sides of this. Okay, I'm going to grab my trimmer, but I don't want to confuse you, because I said we're only going to cut 3 sides, but we need to cut the extra piece off the end, because we made this too big. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take this and line this up with our pencil marks, and it should be at the 1-inch mark. And then I'm going to cut down to the 1 inch. I'm going to put my paper on the 1-inch mark on the other side and cut to the 1 inch. And then turn the paper, lining it again on the 1-inch mark, and then just cutting between those 2 lines again. So let's move our trimmer out of the way. Grab the card again, and then this piece is going to sit right here. And it should fit, and you should have borders around just the 3 sides, but not on the side with the window. So we're going to glue this down. And then I'm just going to line it up again, making sure it's even. And then press that glue out. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put these 3 other pieces down on the card. If you are using pattern paper, make sure that your pattern's going the same way. Okay, so those are glued down now. So next we're going to work on the little window piece. So this piece is going to get glued to the front. And I want it to be about 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch from the edge. So I'm just going to line this up. So that it's even on both sides when the card's open. And it's about 1/8 of an inch on each side. If you want to put a mark, just a light pencil mark, this way you know where you can put your glue without going over the edge so that you don't get glue on your card. And then apply glue to just that one side. And you're going to take this, put it back through the window, and kind of squeeze it. and then make sure it's lined up. And then just go ahead and push that down. And then you're going to want to take the orange piece and glue that to that. Now you could have done that first. It doesn't matter what order. I just wanted to show you without the orange being on there where we were going to line up the papers. So next we're going to work on the embellishments. So once that is put down, I'm going to grab my little cowl. And I have two pieces. I have his body and then I have an extra head because I'm actually going to put a wobbler on here and make his head wobble. So I'm just kind of figuring out where I want to lay him. I'm going to fast forward through some of this. I'm just going to be adding some flowers and then the wobbler, but we'll do that next. So when I put him down, I want to make sure that he's not hanging over the edge of the card. It's almost like he's looking out. Just a little bit from the side of the card. And then we're going to take the wobbler and we're going to put the wobbler on here and put him on top. I did color both top and bottom pieces just so that it had some color when it wobbled. You could see him underneath. So I'm going to grab my poker so I can poke off the glue. And I'm going to glue the heavier side to the bottom. And then I'm going to take off the tape on the other piece and then glue him down. Try to make sure he's lined up just right. And he wobbles just a little bit. And he will lay flat for shipping so it doesn't add too much dimension to the card. These I have a bunch of flowers that I cut out. And I did use a die cut for these, but if you had some, you could use stickers. And I just cut out quite a bit of them. I also cut out Hey There Sweetie and Have a Nice Day, and those are going to go on the cards. The Hey There Sweetie will be on the front. A bunch of flowers all around here just to give it a burst of color. I'm also going to add just a couple of these other embellishments, just these little circles. I'm adding some on top of circles that are already there, or the dots, and then just a few more just to give it just a little bit of shimmer on the card. And that's it. That is the card that we made today. I want to thank you for joining and crafting along with me today. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. There'll be lots more videos coming. And until then, have a great day, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.